Okay, so I went on a personal spiritual retreat for my class, and um, I was looking forward to it up until it came to actually doing it. It was really hard to leave my kids, leave my phone, leave everything. So really, the only way that it was possible for me to was to go to the park. While the kids played, I went up to the levee, and the attributes of God that came to mind while I was sitting up there was from Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and sky above proclaims his handiwork. And I just looked at the way the ducks just floated in the water in the river, how the water moved, and just being thankful that God would even create this beautiful masterpiece of landscape for us to take advantage of, to find peace. The birds chirping, um, it just really makes me. It kind of took me back to like my kids when I want to make them, when I want to appreciate them. I'll make them a really good meal because they're foodies. They love food. So I'll put all this thought and love into making them a really good meal. And then when they see it, they're in awe because, this is something you see at a restaurant typically, and we have it here at home. And so I kind of think of that with God. Like, he loves us so much that he created these beautiful landscapes for us to just be in awe, um, and just be more in his presence. Um, and those were the works of God that I focused on, was the way the water moved. Um, I couldn't remember the prayer that we were supposed to say like word for word, but I remember some parts of the prayer, and as I sat there and I breathed in, I was really feeling like I was breathing in God and exhaling all of the negativity of the day and all of the things that upset me and all of the things that were not of him. I was able to breathe them out. And I started to notice that my breaths were moving with the waves. My breaths were moving with the stream. Um, and it just kind of put me at peace. That's how it affected me. It put me at peace. And just knowing that he got me. Um, the aspects of my relationship with God that I focused on was just being still. That's always been a struggle for me. I would say that the last couple years it has improved quite a bit, but prior to these last couple years, I would say, what do you mean just be still? What do you mean just be held by God? Like, I don't even know what that means, you know? And that was kind of what I was focusing on, and kind of what I've been focusing on since being in this class, is just being still and being in God's presence. Um, just being able to sit with him. I didn't have my earthly father, so to just be able to sit with a father and just look at the beauty of creation is phenomenal. Um, Personal characteristics that I wish to improve. Um, that I'm a very busy person and I'm always on the go, and so that's one thing that I prayed over, is knowing when to be still and be in his presence and just be calm. And know that he's got me. And it's not always about being in a rush and having to get here to do this and do that. And just knowing that, for one, everything happens for a reason, and he puts people in our places at certain times. And since I recently had surgery and was bedridden for a good 2.5 weeks, I didn't have a choice. I had to just be still. So that's one thing that I prayed over. And I believe I have made progress to it, because I say no to some things now. Just in the last week, I say no. No, I'm resting. No, I'm not going to do these things because I need some time for me, you know? In regards to my relationships with others, the things that I prayed over is my patience. I'm not very patient with, first and foremost, my children. They can tick me off in a quick minute. And people that are not living in my home, I'm more patient with them. And so, that's something that I have been praying over, because I want to be more patient. I want to be looked at from the outside world the same way I'm looked at inside my home. And so to hear my kids say, oh, she's always angry or she's always yelling, it doesn't feel good because I'm not like that with other people. And so the steps that I've been making towards that is being more mindful and kind of just appreciating. While I was at the park, I heard a lot of kids' voices just in the background, laughter, crying from kids falling. And I even heard one kid being very disrespectful to what I believe it was his grandmother. And the scripture in Colossians 3:20, children obey your parents and everything for this pleases the Lord, came to mind, because although I am not as patient with my children and I'm not, I do yell a lot, they are very respectful. They don't do things like that. And so I'm journaling now, my thoughts and my feelings. And so I can get ahead of it as much as possible to know why I get triggered, or what things are going on in my life that's causing me to trip up with them, to yell at them, or to lose my patience. I think this experience affected me in a very, very positive way, because I always make excuses that I can't just be one with God. I'm too busy, or I've got the kids. And this showed me that it is possible and God will make a way. While the kids are playing, I can go and be one with, be at peace with him, be one with him. There was nobody else on the levee, just me. And so it's possible. And being able to focus on Christ and just have that one-on-one time and just be centered, I get more in touch with my being and just being more calm. And whatever was riling me up right before then, I have a moment to just take a deep breath and calm and just sit with my Lord. I think this experience with future clients can work because, for one, for those that live busy lifestyles, or those who are always yes men and not no men, if it was like an assignment that I have them do, they are forced to just sit down and be one, just kind of get in touch with themselves, their being. This is a time for them to focus on them and not the rest of the world, which is what most of us do on a day-to-day. And I think it will just give them focus and be able to, what's really key in the prayer is when it says to focus on your breath. When you focus on your breath, everything else that's around you kind of zones out, because you're focusing on that one thing, your breath, breathing in, breathing out. And for those of my clients who, whether they're spiritual or not spiritual, to say, when you breathe in all the positivity, all the peace, all the calm, and exhale the negativity, exhale the bad things that are going on in your life, exhale anything that you feel should not be there. I think it will help my clients in the future, and also me in working with them, because we are getting rid of all of that dirt and baggage from past hurts, I guess you can say. And so I really appreciate this assignment. And I hope that it is something that we are required to do in future classes, because unless it's a requirement or part of my assignment, my job, I don't want to do it. Who wants to do that? And I'm so connected to my phone that it's like, I want to grab my phone so I can see what the prayer was. I want to grab my phone so I can remember what scripture that is that you're reminding me of when I see the beauty of creation. And so, I think it's needed for all. Thank you.